Well, hey guys, it's Viejo here, and we're into the third week of July in 2025. Another typical day for this time of year here on the central coast of California. We start off kind of overcast and gloomy in the morning, but by afternoon we're in the mid 70s, low 70s, and nice and clear. And that's what we got going on here today. This is part 2 of episode 22 of Wadcutter Wednesday. And if you recall from last time, this was this unique little bullet from Lee. It's an old-timer mold, a single cavity. It's the 410-116-WC. Here's the little bullet here, a little tiny guy for 41 caliber anyway. So what we're going to do this time is get them loaded up and then take them to the range and shoot. And you know by now, I'm sure if you're watching on YouTube, that I can't show you the actual loading process. I'll show you the bits and pieces that I can show, but I can certainly show you the range footage. And also in the description box, there will be a link to the entire YouTube playlist. And you can go back into that and find the previous video. And if you're on Rumble, I'll just go ahead and put a link to, a direct link to the previous Rumble version of the video, so you can take a look at that if you didn't see the casting part. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and get started on the loading part. I loaded these on my old Lyman Spar-T turret press that you may remember way back, I don't know, a couple years ago. So I got a hold of this thing, and it was a basket case, and it needed to be cleaned up and refurbished and then painted and so forth. But this press is now dedicated to my 41 mag and 41 special loading. I've got the die set up in there. Only got one turret for it, and so this guy just stays set up. I've got enough other presses, shell holder and everything. It's just all ready to go for 41 caliber. And we'll go ahead here just quickly and take a look at the die setup. Okay, here's the die setup on the Spar-T turret press. I've got an RCBS sizer die here. I just got the stem, the depriming stem removed from it, because I deprime all of my brass before I tumble it anyway, so I don't need that in there. We've got an RCBS expander die. Okay, I've got an RCBS cedar die in here. Okay, and that one has a plug in it that's appropriate for this particular cartridge. There's an RCBS cedar die, another one there with the stem removed completely, and we're going to use that sometimes with 41 special to do a roll crimp. But today I'm going to be using this one. This is the Lee factory crimp die, the carbide factory crimp die. Okay, that's different from the Colt style factory crimp die. Anyway, and I've got a Lee micro adjusting stem designed for their cedar die, but we've got it stuck into the crimp die. This was an idea that the Fortune Cookie 45 LC came up with not too long ago, and it does work. The adjustment marks on there are not about thousandths of inches of crimp. It's just to kind of give us a reference as to how much crimp we're adding or removing. You have to put a little spacer in there to get this to work, but it's kind of nice to have that to do your adjustment. I need a little more crimp. Well, how much more? Well, we'll try that and see what that does. Anyway, so I've been kind of trying this to see if it's going to, if it's worthwhile or not. Seems to be. Okay, the stems are cheap enough. Anyway, so there's our die setup that we're going to use today. Okay, so we are going to load these in 41 special cases. I tried a few of them, and 41 mag wasn't real happy with what was going on there. So we used some 41 special, and we'll go ahead with the first part of this, sizing and priming and all that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and get all that stuff done first, and I'll just give you a few seconds of each one and put a little music to it or something, and we'll get them all sized and primed and ready to go, and then we'll come back. All right, we'll go ahead and get some of these loaded up for you. I've got the press running here more or less in single stage mode, which is how I run this press. There's no handle on the turret, and so I run all my cases through at one station, okay, then go to the next station, run them all through there. And since these cases were already uniformed and sized and expanded and primed, all we got to do is charge the case and seat the bullet, and then when they're all done with that, we'll move over and go to the crimp station and crimp them all. So there, and I'm looking for 1.312, and that was 1.311, out of focus, of course. There we go. So that's close enough. All right, there it is. 39 cartridges and 41 special, made up with the very old Lee 410116 wadcutter bullet. Okay, they're sitting on top of 5.5 grains of unique and Winchester large pistol primers. And I did, some load development with this, so I know that this charge is going to work fine in my revolver. I don't know about yours, and neither do you. It's not likely that you're going to get a hold of any of these bullets anyway. That particular mold is long out of production. I don't know anybody else who's got one. I wouldn't have one except it was given to me. All right, it's range time. Okay, so those were all set. Now, I spent some time and did a little bit of testing first before I finally came up with a load that I thought was going to be workable. Since this particular bullet, I mean, there's no data anywhere that I could find. So it just kind of start from scratch and work my way up. And so we came up with that 5.5 grains of unique, and it ran really well. But I had kind of shot up so many of those bullets doing the testing. I didn't have a whole lot left to go to the range and show you guys. I only had a dozen or so left, so we didn't get a whole lot on paper, but I shot a few through first to get the barrel heated up and get the velocity recorded, and then I got 6 that I shot on target for you. So let's go take a look at that. We used the Smith & Wesson Model 57, okay? Beautiful revolver, right? You guys have seen them before. This is the Lee 410-116.
Now the green has to be hit.
Now the green has to be hit.
Do it down from right lower. Yep.
Okay, there was other guys shooting, so I couldn't get down there close to taking up close photo of the target. But there you go, 6 rounds all right in there. Did pretty good job. Okay, there you go. They did a really good job, a little over 800 feet per second, and very, very accurately, at 25 feet, but who knows what would happen past that. But I was pretty pleased with how they came out. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. I hope you enjoyed that and got something out of it, but from the Viejo bench for now, that's all she wrote.